Techno update. Subscribe now.
The phone is built well and is slim and light. With a depth of just 7.7mm, it's comfortable enough to carry around in your pocket, and the ergonomics are good, so it's easy to grip. It has a plastic back, although it does look like metal from afar. The fit and finish is nice, and VIVO has added some chrome accents around the top and bottom edges of the phone to give it some aesthetic appeal. The 3.5mm headphone socket, micro USB port and the speaker grill are all on the bottom. On the left, we have the SIM tray, which can accommodate 2 nano SIM cards and a microSD card. Micro SD support goes up to 256GB and is a welcome feature since this phone's predecessor lacked expandable storage. The volume and power buttons are placed to the right and line up well with your fingers during regular usage. The only thing we're not too happy about is the older micro USB connector rather than a newer Type-C port. The big departure from previous VIVO phones is the new 18:9 aspect ratio display. There are very slim borders on the top and bottom and even slimmer ones on either side. The display has a 2.5D curved edge Gorilla Glass covering, which looks good. Sadly, VIVO has missed one major detail, and that's the resolution. For a 5.99-inch screen, it only gets an HD resolution, 720 by 1440, which is disappointing. The display surprisingly isn't as terrible as we had expected. Icons and text are obviously not as sharp as we would like, but there's no visible color banding in videos and still images. Colors are nicely saturated, and the viewing angles of the IPS panel are decent too. We also have a notification LED above the screen. The rear camera module creates a slight bump at the back. During our review period, we didn't see any scratches to the lens or scuffs to the finish. The fingerprint sensor sits in the middle of the rear, just above the VIVO logo, and is quick at authentication. You can also use it to lock apps and take a selfie. In the box, you get a silicone case, SIM ejector tool, quick start guide, headset, data cable and 10 watts charger. The charger is unusually large for one that doesn't support fast charging. The V7 Plus uses the top-end variant in Qualcomm's 400 series, the Snapdragon 450, which uses 8-ARM Cortex-A53 CPU cores and Qualcomm's own Adreno 506 GPU. Performance is slightly better than the rest of the 400 series, as the SoC handles multitasking and games pretty well. It's not as quick as, say, Qualcomm's Snapdragon 625, which is often seen in phones at this price point, but it's no slouch either. We managed to get 56,637 points in Antutu and 33 FPS in GFSPench. The phone also gets 4GB of RAM and 64GB of onboard storage, which is good. Other specifications include dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.2, USB OTG, and FM radio. NFC isn't present, but you do get a gyroscope, along with the standard variety of sensors. VIVO has updated its custom fork of Android, FunTouchOS, to version 3.2, and it is now based on Android 7.1.2. It continues to be heavily inspired by iOS, with icons and UI elements taken straight from Apple's mobile platform. In the new version, notifications are shown much like they are in iOS. VIVO's control center is still present, and you have to swipe up from the bottom of the screen to bring up quick settings toggles and recently used apps. FunTouchOS is a single-layered UI, so all your app icons are laid out on the home screens. Due to the taller screen, it is difficult to reach all corners without shuffling your hands about. VIVO has incorporated a few features to help, like one-handed mode and gestures. The UI also has something called Smart Split 3.0, which lets you use two apps at the same time. Incoming messages from compatible apps like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger can be seen on one half of the display, so you don't need to exit the application you're currently using. You can force split screen mode with a 3-finger swipe down. The trouble is that it's not very useful, as there are only a handful of apps that support this, and Nougat's native split screen feature isn't supported. App Clone lets you create 2 instances of a supported app, so it can be used with your second SIM. Overall, the interface works smoothly, but it's difficult to find what you're looking for at first, especially in the Settings app. It could also use some refinement, as certain pop-up messages and menus don't have proper alignment or useful descriptions.